All right. Hey guys, Gardner here, day 378, writing reflections on this Thursday. And 378 days, wow. And 378 days married to music. I want to talk about music today in terms of the writing process. So, of course, as soon as I start this live, the recyclable truck pulls up out back, and it's all fucking shit hitting the fan. So bear with me. Anyway, I'm gonna shut my door. So 378 days, music. Those of you that follow me know music is one of the most important things in my day-to-day routine, ritual, the way I show up in the world. Who I am as a person, who I am as a coach, how I interact with others, how I view the world, how I write is from a symphonic lens, truly. It's just the way that I've grown to see the world. And in this writing journey, every day there's been music. So 378 out of those days, I think I've told you seven of those days there was zero writing. So for 371 days, every one of those days has had some sort of music. Now, when I was in Rhode Island last summer, writing for 5 weeks, towards the end of last summer, there were times I wrote every day, of course, and I wrote a lot by the ocean, right? I took my laptop and I went, and even there I would plug in or I would choose to have that symphonic sound of the crashing waves on the against the rocks at Beavertail, one of my favorite places, for example, or wherever the adventure of the day would take me. The cry of seagulls and you know the sound of ships, fishing ships pulling into the harbor, whatever it was, that was music to me. That aside, for the most part, though, it's always been emotionally driven score music. So as a movie buff and as somebody who has come to understand that I do live each day as if I'm in my own movie, whatever that may be. Some days it could be a horror movie. Some days it could be a fantasy or adventure. Regardless, the point is there's always a backdrop of score, and music has really been instrumental in how I approach the keyboards of the laptop and begin to create, especially with this book, because a lot of it is to itself a movie in terms of how I'm rolling this out and coming at it from different characters, different versions of myself, reality, fantasy, child, middle-aged, all of these different dynamics. So it makes sense to me in terms of the content, but also it is very ritualistic for me. So music has that ability to transport me. And I find it a very useful tool when writing. Even when I journal, very rarely will I ever do anything in absolute silence, especially something creative. Music is my muse, truly it is. Now, you know, when I'm writing my book, I don't snap on my Dream Theater or Iron Maiden and you know, rock and roll while I'm typing. No. However, I have my my tool belt of go-to musical soundtracks, scores, composers, Max Richter, for example, Greg Hines, uh, Steve Jablonsky. So many great artists that are avant-garde or modern day composers in the realm of movie soundtracks. And these aren't your typical John Williams style musical symphonies, which are great. No, these are more of the kind of ethereal and thought-provoking music. Not everyone's cup of tea, but it sure as shit works for me. And so, you know, I'm coming on this day, day 378, to really just honor the music that's been by me in this whole process for over a year now. And just to honor music in general, and how it's such a crucial part of the way that James shows up in this world, and how it inspires me and how it transports me. So, you know, for all of you that are writing, journaling, whatever it is, if you haven't experimented with music, try it, because it sometimes we need a gentle push or a gentle invite into that creative doorway, or through that creative doorway into the magical land of what we're trying to create. And music for me unequivocally holds the key, always non-negotiable. So that's part of my winning ritual every day. I mean, it's kind of ironic, not ironic. It's kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of ridiculous in terms of how much of a creature of habit I am. I get up 4:45. I go, I press the coffee machine. I sit down. I literally open my laptop, take a few deep breaths. My YouTube music channel is already set up. I always play the first song, is always the same song every day I write, because it works. It gives me that key into that doorway. And then, of course, when the coffee kicks in, and you know, I'm off to the races. And sometimes what I love about it, and this is just about me, gang, and maybe there's things to take from this. For me, writing with a movie storyboard concept in my head and coming at it from that lens, I don't think I come at it from a strictly an author creative lens. It's more like I'm coming at it from a movie perspective, where there's multiple sound dimensions and layers. When I'm writing certain scenes, I go and play music for the soundtrack that I think would accompany that scene. And then that stimulates the dialogue, stimulates the exposition, the content that I'm creating. And that to me is a great creative process unto itself. And I love it. I love that. And that jazzes me up. And so it's going to be interesting, because once this is done, I'll probably be able to go through almost every chapter. And maybe I'll have this at the end of the book. I don't know, but I can go through almost every chapter and probably say, what was the score for that chapter? What music was I listening to in that instance? So it's amazing. And so for all of you that have been following on this, it's amazing. I love your messages. I love your outpour of support. It's truly amazing. And you know, it's great to see how your energy has in turn lifted my spirits, blessed me with my move. Here I am. You know, I don't think I've ever been in a better position in my life right now. So for all of you out there, stay the course. Mad love to the courageous. And we'll see you next week in the day 380, something like that. All right. Cheers. Have a good one.